Monza gave us a sight nobody expected. The man who usually gets drowned out by whistles on Ferrari soil walked to the podium and heard his name echoed back at him. Max Verstappen was cheered by the Tifosi. It tells you something about where Italian hearts are right now. Since Ferrari brought in Lewis Hamilton, the idea of landing another megastar no longer feels like fantasy. If you can convince a 7-time champion to wear red, why not the 4-time champion who keeps ripping the air out of every Sunday he finishes? The rumors about Max to Ferrari have been around for months, but what are the real odds? Strip away the noise and you start to see the conditions that would need to line up. Let us start with the weekend itself. McLaren came in as the favourite. Ferrari believed it could ride the home swell, and then Verstappen killed the suspense on Saturday and smothered it on Sunday. Pole from Lando Norris, an early scrap for the lead, and then a disappearing act. 19 seconds clear at the flag in what went into the books as the fastest race Formula One has ever run. That is win number 3 of 2025 for Verstappen and the first for Red Bull under Laurent Mekies. New technical rhythm, new authority in the garage, and a driver who by every account has rediscovered the appetite to push the group forward after a winter and spring that were anything but calm. If the question is whether Red Bull can still give Verstappen what he wants, Monza offered a confident answer. The second question is the one that has stalked this season. Will Verstappen stay beyond 2026 if the ground under his feet shifts? His camp has spoken to other teams. Mercedes tried to open a door. Aston Martin listened hard. Jos Verstappen has admitted that Ferrari conversations happened too, even after the Hamilton announcement. That is not a pledge. It is two parties checking the temperature. You do that when a driver is weighing the 2026 regulation reset and wondering whose power unit hits the ground running and whose winter turns into triage. Here is where the Monza reception matters. The Tifosi did not just clap politely, they sang his name after he beat them. As journalist Ralph Back put it, that looked and sounded like a declaration of love. It read like a public invitation. We adore our own, but come drive the red car and make us world champions. That kind of energy gets noticed, and by all indications, it registered with the Verstappen camp. You cannot build a decision on applause, but you can let it bend your curiosity. Contract reality draws the boundary lines. Verstappen is committed to Red Bull through 2026. There is talk of a performance clause that allows an exit if he is nowhere near the sharp end at a key checkpoint. He sat third at the summer break, which made the whole clause chatter academic. The more precise picture is this. He intends to reassess after he has seen one full season of the 2026 regulations in race trim. If Red Bull lands outside the top 2 in true pace and looks boxed in by its power unit, the exit conversation comes alive. If Red Bull is in the fight, the pressure to leave cools. What about Ferrari seats? Charles Leclerc is locked in. Hamilton signed on a multi-year horizon with 2026 guaranteed and the option to stretch. If Hamilton triggers an extension and the partnership stabilizes, there is no chair to pull out for 2027. If the fit proves stubborn and the new rules do not bring the comfort he expected, the window opens. Inside the paddock, the working assumption is simple. If Verstappen becomes available, Ferrari will try. That is not a slight to Leclerc. It is the reality of a team that has waited far too long to add world titles to its public relations wins. The driver at the center of it has already explained his own filter. He respects Ferrari's aura. He understands why so many drivers say they would love to race in red at least once. He also made it clear that he will not move for romance. If he ever goes, it is because he sees a project that can deliver titles. That is completely in character. Verstappen has always been pragmatic about legacy. All the emotion in the world cannot change a car's mid-corner rotation or energy deployment on a straight.
There is also the possibility that Verstappen simply decides he has done enough in Formula One and tries something else. He has never promised the sport a long goodbye. Endurance racing has been on his mind. Sim projects absorb him. The calendar is thickening again and the off-track noise never really calms down. If the balance between joy and hassle tips the wrong way, he has the kind of career profile that allows him to walk away on his terms. That is why any conversation about 2028 cannot be treated as a certainty. It is a menu of options, not a script. So what are the odds right now? Better than zero, but nowhere near likely. Ferrari made an impression at Monza, and management has at least tested how cordial the conversations can be. Red Bull answered with performance and a more settled internal cadence under Mekies. Mercedes hovers, Aston watches, and the whole grid waits for 2026 data points that will convert speculation into math. The two anchors, in Verstappen's own words, are these: he will not move for the badge. He will move if he sees a winning pathway that is clearer than the one he already has. If you are Ferrari, the job is straightforward and brutal. Keep Leclerc happy and sharp. Give Hamilton machinery that lets him show why you brought him. Build a car that does not need a miracle Saturday to be a threat on Sunday. Prove that the power unit and aero concept for 2026 are not just credible but class-leading. If you can tick those boxes and a seat opens at the right moment, you are in the conversation. If you cannot, the chance at Monza will live as a beautiful clip on social media and nothing more. If you are Red Bull, the assignment is even simpler to write and harder to execute. Win now. Arrive in 2026 with a power unit that does not leave you begging for efficiency. Keep the technical group tight. Keep the politics quiet, and keep giving Verstappen weekends like Monza that remind him why staying is the shortest path to more silverware. Drivers who like winning tend to keep choosing it. In the end, the Tifosi showed Max what life in red could feel like even on a day when he broke their hearts. That matters.